Issues and trends impacting the retail sector are front and center now in Zacks Retail Spotlight. Retail stocks are mixed as we record this, as better than expected April sales figures and some improved profit forecasts are being offset by the weak overall economy. And here to talk about all of this news with us now is Zacks retail analyst Rob Plaza. So I guess mixed on the retail stock front is okay. Better than expected on the April sales front is better news than we thought. Still, though, the bigger question remains, something you and I have been talking about here each month, is the worst over for consumer spending. And we may not be out of those woods yet.
Well, I think it's a little bit more than that. Okay, let's say the worst is over. Do you expect retail sales to improve or get back to levels, say, of 2004, 2005, 2006?
I'm supposed to be asking you that question.
But, I mean, that's the question that all investors should be asking, because if you look at the run in the stock prices of all these retailers, I mean, it's almost as if we're anticipating that, there is going to be a pickup in sales in the back half of the year. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I just don't see that happening.
Well, you've had a couple of things that might be contributing to the April numbers, the sales numbers. You had an increase in tax refunds. Mm-hmm. You had a year-over-year drop in gasoline prices, but gas is back up now. It's on the way up. So still macro headwinds are significant, job security being the most significant headwind that consumers are facing. The retail industry itself isn't buying it. Retail insiders reportedly are betting that it could be 12 to 18 months before the consumer returns to spending at pre-recession levels.
And again, that's the big question. At what pre-recession level is that going to be?
Yeah.
Keep in mind that all of us benefited from house prices going up, and several million people took money out of their homes, upwards. I don't even want to go into the figures, but I mean, it really boosted sales over that time. We're not going to go back to those levels. So we could just see a flattening out from here. And if you're a retailer, you're still sitting on too much square footage in many of your stores.
Yeah, you're still saying that, and you still do believe that brick and mortar stores are going to have to get leveled before this all gets better, right?
Unless you're Walmart or a discount type store. So maybe I could rephrase that and say, if you're a luxury or a high-end or even a middle-of-the-road retailer, mm-hmm. those retail stores have to start cutting off square footage. But if you're in the discount variety, a Walmart, maybe you can go in and take over those stores on the cheap.
Let's take a look at another leading indicator in the retail industry, and that is order slashing. Merchants have been dramatically slashing their orders for new merchandise for quite some time now. That is a leading indicator.
Oh, absolutely, because the orders that they're putting in now are going to hit the stores or be ready to go into the stores in the third quarter, which is ramping up for the holiday season.
Well, 6 to 8 months, I guess, is the product order lead time.
Right, and retailers are still reeling off of what happened in the last holiday season when too much inventory was on the shelves. Nobody wants to get caught in that position again.
And something else that you and I have been talking about, that's the whole retail culture, which all comes back to the consumer. And you, like many people in the retail industry, feel that the retail culture is in a major transition right now.
Absolutely. We've had incredible wealth destruction, both from stock prices and our home prices. And then in the last, 18 months, 12 to 18 months, we've seen job losses pick up. And there's, even though I know the unemployment number that came out today mm-hmm. Was better than expected, there's still, 500,000 people that are filing for unemployment on a monthly basis, and that's not good for spending.
Yeah, and I heard it put kind of in an interesting way, or I read about it. It was put by an industry insider in a kind of an interesting way. When you get back to consumer spending, conspicuous consumption is now considered to be bad manners. That pretty much says it as far as consumer spending habits is concerned.
Right. We picked up on that trend probably last summer, and it had more to do with maybe not your family or my family, but you might know a family who was undergoing some kind of job change, or maybe they had lost their house. So people started to feel guilty about buying expensive clothes or buying a new car and showing that off. in front of people who might be struggling.
So are investors getting ahead of themselves then with this rally in retail stocks?
Yeah, I've been saying that for 2 months, and I've been getting hit over the head every day as these stock prices go up.
Yeah, so in fact, in your outlook, you wrote for Zacks.com recently, you said we should remain cautious with retail stocks going forward.
Absolutely. I mean, there's still certain story stocks that work. You know, we've talked about Buckle or Aeropostale. I mean, they continue to put up strong double-digit numbers. I think Buckle was up 18% in April. Aeropostale was up 20%. Both were above expectations. But other than those specialty stores, really the trend is towards being more frugal, trying to stretch your dollar, and that means discount. That means dollar stores, Walmart, even Target to a lesser extent. They did okay this in April.
So you're not really seeing a pickup in spending here in the summer months, going into the back-to-school season, either flat at best. Is that what you're saying?
No, in fact, we could see bigger declines in coming up in the summer because last year we were looking at Bush's tax checks that went out,
right,
where everybody got a stimulus check. Now, we did have an offset where gas prices were up $4 a gallon in most parts of the country. But like you said, that was one of the points I wanted to pick up. Gas prices have been picking up in the last few weeks. And if those keep going, that's just going to be another headwind for retail sales.
So we should enjoy these April numbers here while we have them. Is that what you're saying?
I think if you've been long the last few months in retail stocks, you've done really well, and probably now is a good time to ring the cash register. From
your own coverage list of retail stocks, where do you see the opportunities lie for investors?
I'm still staying as defensive as possible. The supermarket stores have really gotten whacked during this. They haven't gotten any lift, but yet they're still delivering sales, delivering cash flow, and your discount names are probably where you want to be in the safety area because they're not hurting. They're seeing sales increase on a monthly basis.
And what's your retail index telling you?
My numbers were better than expected. I mean, with Walmart, the actuals were up about 1.7%. Expectations were a slight negative. Without Walmart, the actual was down about 2.5%, 2.6%. Expectations were for about negative 3.3.
All right, that's the latest on retail. With Rob Plaza, I'm Terry Ruffalo.